Hi everyone, this is me, Summer Kelly, back with another video. I want to thank y'all for taking time out of to watch this video. As you can see, I am not singing nor playing guitar. This is a non-musical video, my first one in a couple of weeks. For those of you who joined my previous music videos, I would encourage you to go back and watch them. Stay tuned because Lord willing, later this week, or next week, I'll be back with more music videos of me giving God all the glory, honor, praise to his name and song. So I was thinking, planning, praying, making this video in light of what's going on this week and this month. So I have for this video is called The Importance of Racial Equality. And I'm going to be sharing with you guys lessons from the Bible as well as from life, how we can apply principles to this point. The first point I want to make is that everyone is made in the image of God. And God made Adam and Eve, and God made Adam from the dust, and he made Eve from Adam's rib. And God made them as well as humanity after them in God's image and God's likeness. And so the very first point is that everyone is in the image of God, men and women in all cultures, number one. Number two, God made all cultures uniquely and beautifully. And you may say, well, how is that possible? Well, we know that after Noah's flood, after the flood, after Noah's ark, Noah's descendants decided to build the Tower of Babel, which I believe is mentioned in Genesis chapter 11. And the people were stubborn and did not want to obey God. And God got upset with them and came down and confused their language. And from that moment on, we see cultures that look different. Some people have lighter skin, some people have darker skin because of that. But even though that's been the case, God made every culture uniquely beautiful in his or her own way. And, and each and every one of us are made uniquely and beautifully and wonderfully made by God. That's the second point I want to make. The third point I want to make is racism is a sin problem, not a skin problem. And for those of you that may or may not know, racism is not a new thing. In fact, for those of you that recall the story of the Exodus, the Egyptians oppressed the Jews until God raised up Moses to deliver them. And we know that the Arabs and the Jews have been at odds with each other for many years, all because of Abraham's sons, Isaac and Ishmael, being at odds with each other, which is why there's tension in the Middle East today. And of course, those of us who live in America know that blacks and whites have had a challenging relationship with each other too. But the root of it is sin, and the root of it is superiority. One group to get they're better than another. That's the third point I want to make. Third point I want to make. The fourth point I want to make is that each racial culture deserves equal opportunities as another. That's why Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech is so beautiful. It's because it was his dream for blacks and whites to hold hands, and his dreams for people to be known for the content of their character versus the color of their skin. And his dream was also for blacks to have equal opportunities as whites, but not just for blacks, but other minority groups as well. Another point I want to make is a civil rights leader who just died recently, Jesse Jackson, worked alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to propel that dream to make it a reality, and we're seeing the fruits of their labor even to this very day. So that's the point I want to make. The last point I want to make is that racial equality is the heart of the Great Commission. Remember when Jesus, before he left the earth and ascended back to the Father, commissioned the disciples to go into all the world and to preach the gospel to all creation. Notice he didn't say to go to cultures that look like you, talk like you, think like you, have customs like you know. He intended for the gospel to get to all cultures so that all could have a chance to receive Christ and go to heaven. So those are the points I want to make for you guys. I didn't want this video to be long, but to recap, the points that I made is number one, everyone is made in the image of God. Number two, God made each culture uniquely beautiful. Number three, racism is a sin problem, not a skin problem. Fourthly, it's important to have opportunities for all races and cultures. And lastly, racial equality is the heart of the Great Commission. So this video bless you, may like, subscribe, to share with those you know and love. If you are a parent looking for a faith-based art center virtual kid and teen club, reach out to me or check out my website, yourlifeartcenteronline.com, for registration for that. And if you're a Christian lady looking for a faith-based, community-based virtual women's ministry, you could go to my website, womenswarriorsacademy.com, for that and check that out as well. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you understand my heart is that I honor all cultures along with my culture because this is Black History Month. And so I hope and pray this video blessed you. May you like, subscribe, and share with those you know and love. Thank you. God bless you. I hope you have a great week. And remember, all cultures matter.